Well, good morning, or well, I guess by the time you're seeing this, it'll be like in the mid-afternoon. But for me, it's early in the morning. I got up early to start a new video. Maybe you're familiar with this type of video on my channel. In case you're new, I like to do this thing where I go on my favorite streaming site of all time, the Criterion channel. I find a Criterion collection on that channel and I watch the whole collection, and I watch it here on film, and I film my reactions and I tell you what the movies are about. Maybe I rank them. It's not just a way for me to watch more movies and watch movies that I'm super interested in, but it's another way to also let you know what is on the greatest streaming site of all time. I've done videos like this before. I will have the playlist in the description below in case you enjoy this kind of video and want to see the other kind of Criterion collections I've watched. Today, we will be starting the Southern Gothic collection on the Criterion channel. I'm from the South. I love Southern Gothic books. I love Southern Gothic movies. Southern Gothic is definitely a subgenre, a niche genre of mine that I love and adore so much. It's personal. They're always a little thrilling. I love the setting of the South as well. It feels like home, also a little spooky at times. There are a lot of films in this collection. I will not be watching all of them in this video. I narrowed it down to 6 movies that I really want to watch and rewatch. In release date order, here are the films that we will be watching in this collection and in this video together. We have The Night of the Hunter, The Long Hot Summer, Wise Blood, Wild at Heart, Eve's Bayou, and Wildcat. So The Night of the Hunter and Eve's Bayou I have seen before. I actually own them both on Criterion, and I will be watching my own discs of this, so I won't actually go into the Criterion channel to watch these 2 movies. I have seen these before. They are fantastic movies. I think I gave both of them 5 stars, and for that I want to rewatch them really bad, and also I own them, so I want to rewatch them. The other 4 movies on this list I have never seen, and I'm very, very excited. I'm super excited for Wild at Heart. I'm very interested in seeing Wildcat because it's directed by Ethan Hawke and his daughter Maya Hawke stars in it, so I'm excited to see what that's about. The Long Hot Summer is from John Hudson, who I've seen a lot of his movies. And then Wise Blood, I don't know anything about that one, so I'm gonna go in extremely blind for that. I have decided to start off with the oldest movie in this list, The Night of the Hunter. I've seen it once. It's spooky and it's extremely Southernly Gothic as well. It stars Robert Meacham, who is just one of my favorite actors of all time. I know he's like a bad guy. I think he's like a serial killer, and he tricks these kids into helping him with a con or a scheme. I don't quite remember. It's been literally years since I've seen it, but I'm very excited to rewatch it. So without further ado, watch a Criterion collection with me. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoy this video. I'm gonna put this in my 4K player and get to watching. Can I just say that I love purchasing movies from the Criterion collection because they pack these discs chock full with so many bonus features. There are 2 discs within this movie. The first one has the actual movie, and then there are so many bonus features, behind the scenes, whatevers. And then there's a whole other disc, disc 2, which has over 2.5 hours of outtakes and behind the scenes footage for The Night of the Hunter. I don't think I'll be able to watch all of it today for this video, but that is definitely some supplemental information that I will be able to dive into at some point now that I own this, and I'm so happy about that.
What's to be ordered? Another widow? What makes that Wheeling Island Tabernacle look like a chicken house?
Does you have free candy for the kids, preacher?
Lord, you sure know what you were doing. You put me in this very cell at this very time. A man with 10,000 knowledge hid somewhere. And a women in
Hi, Pinky.
That makes you back, and you swore you wouldn't tell. You swore. You hit Daddy with a hairbrush.
Robert Meacham is one of the most gorgeous men I've ever laid my eyes on. Like, I'm like drooling right now just watching him in this movie, to be honest.
when your dad says come, you should mind him?
He ain't my dad.
No, when he ain't no preacher neither.
Why does the ending of this movie have me crying? Like, why am I crying right now? The Night of the Hunter is so good. This is the first time I've ever been able to actually rewatch it, and it just holds up. It's still such a 5-star movie for me. Say hi to Juice. He's been sleeping. He's been being a baby. We have who I would argue is the main character. His name is John. He's a little boy. His father comes running towards him, and he's like, all right, son, they're after me. They're coming for me. I just killed 2 men. I stole $10,000. Here, take this money. This is for your sister Pearl and your mother. Please, you're the man of the house now. They're coming for me. The police come, arrest his father. While he's in jail, he makes friends with his bunkmate, who is the man that Robert Meacham plays. This guy is a bad guy, okay? He is a self-proclaimed preacher. He is definitely a preacher of fire and brimstone. He's also a bad guy. Like, he does not actually uphold the ways of Christian living, okay? He is a murderer. He has had 25 wives, and he has killed all of them and hasn't been caught yet. He's a swindler. He's a thief. He wants to steal money. And when he becomes friends with this guy in jail, he talks about the $10,000 that he stole and that his kids are keeping safe for him. Robert Meacham's character kills the father in jail. He gets out of jail. He was in there for like driving a stolen car, so his sentence wasn't that long. When he gets out, he goes to find the wife and kids that this man left behind. He talks about how, oh yes, I was working at the jail and I met your father and he was such a good guy and I'm so sorry for his passing. I'm here to make sure that the kids are okay and the kids are safe. He woos the wife, marries the wife. He brainwashes the wife as well. The only person who sees through this guy is the little boy, John. Robert Meacham's character keeps asking him, where's the money? Where's the money? Your father mentioned this money. Do you know where the money is? He's not letting him know where this money is because his father told him to keep it safe. He said that this money is for you and your sister and your mother. The preacher does what he does best, which is murdering his wives, and the kids are soon on the run because he's after them next. They've been keeping the money inside Pearl's little doll, and the preacher finds out about this. However, the kids get on this rowboat. They take it down the stream. They go towns and cities over, and he is trying to follow them on horseback. The third act of the movie centers around this woman named Miss Cooper. And now Miss Cooper is played by Lillian Gish. She is one of the most prolific early Hollywood, just like the beginning of film began with Lillian Gish. Like, she was in the very first feature-length film of all time. She worked with, what's his name? D.W. Griffith. He was a huge director in the early 1900s, and she was in a billion of his short films, his feature-length films. Her career spanned over 75 years, with her last movie being in the late 1980s. And she's already a really old woman in this movie, in The Night of the Hunter, which is from 1955. Miss Cooper is kind of like a mother goose, okay? Like, she takes on kids who have no parents, or kids whose parents can't keep them in the home. They can't really take good care of them. Any kind of little ruffian orphan child that comes along within the town, they find their way to Miss Cooper. She has a stay for them. She has a place for them to rest their head. She has food for them. They learn a lot about like community and working together within these other kids that she has. And our 2 main children here find their way to Miss Cooper. She starts taking care of them, and she's very wise. She is also kind of like the opposite, the juxtaposition of the preacher, because he is a very like fire and brimstone teacher preacher kind of guy who doesn't take his own advice or actually like uphold the ways of the Bible or anything like that. Like, he's just using it as a front to get ahead and to manipulate people. Whereas Miss Cooper, she uses the Bible and the stories and hymns, which music is such a big part of this movie. Part of me thinks that that has to do with just the Southern atmosphere. Church is a huge deal in the South. It is a huge source of community, and the bringing together of people through like gospel music or just music that you hear in church is such a big theme throughout this movie, and I think it's a very telling theme throughout Southern culture as well. She uses the Bible and the stories of the Bible to uplift people and to give people courage, whereas he uses the stories of the Bible to bring people down. It's such a good movie. Like, not only is the acting amazing, like Robert Meacham blows it out of the water. The kids are so good, and they never really went on to make more movies. Pearl especially never was in another movie other than this one. So the kids did not go on to have like this amazing career after this movie, which is so surprising given how wonderful they were in it. I read up on a little bit of trivia that the girl who played Pearl did not have a good time on set. Apparently the director, Charles Lawton, was mean to her, and he would yell at her, and he would allow the cameras to keep rolling while he was yelling at her. Like, he'd yell cut, and then like, "You're terrible, terrible. Why are you doing this? You're not supposed to do it this way. So that they could get like her reaction of her like reacting to this man yelling at her. And then they would use that scared reaction in the movie when she's reacting to the preacher, which is horrible. I don't like that kind of manipulation between like a director and his actors. I don't think that that is a good indicative of excellent directing. It's just manipulative and it's kind of gross in my opinion. So maybe that's why she never went on to make another movie, because she had such a horrible time on set. But The Night of the Hunter, great movie, 5 stars. I love it. I love the rewatch. And it's a great movie to start off the Southern Gothic Criterion collection with. Real quick, last thing about The Night of the Hunter that I love is the cinematography. The lighting, the shadow work, none of it is used in a wasteful way. It is all so deliberate on screen. It's like storyboarded for the lighting. Like I can tell it's so good, and it just makes the movie watching experience that much more excellent. When I think of Southern Gothic as like a genre or a subgenre, I think of summer. Okay, I think of like the hottest day of the year. I think of cicadas. I think of marshlands. I think of Florida. I think of Louisiana. I think of the Appalachian Mountains. I think of rundown houses, huts, outhouses, things that are hot, things that are sticky. This is the atmosphere that Southern Gothic means to me, and The Night of the Hunter did that pretty well. The next movie that I'm going to watch from this collection is going to be The Long Hot Summer from 1958. This is directed by Martin Ritt. I thought this was the one directed by John Hudson, but that's going to be the next one. It stars Paul Newman. It reads, accused barn burner and conman Ben Quick arrives in a small Mississippi town and quickly integrates himself with its richest family, the Varners. I've never seen it. It's been on my watch list forever, and I'm so excited to get into it. Barn burner for real.
Shopping those Memphis stores this morning that just went wild. Alligator flag, figured crib, summer shoes, which is all
Literally nothing better than a country accent.
Nobody's gonna see him. Jody, I'm home, and I spent all your money.
Well, looks like you sure had a big spend, honey.
Let me just take a moment to admire the cast. This cast is stacked. We have Paul Newman, Orson Welles, Lee Remick, Angela Lansbury, plus a couple of other girlies that I've seen in a few movies here and there. Amazing cast. I'm already loving it so much. I really didn't think about the ramifications of watching two extremely hot men of all time in two Southern Gothic movies back to back. Like, they're sweating, they're doing backbreaking work, like, they're dressed up, they're doing their thing. They're looking good.
I said, I'm gonna crawl over there, looks like a fly.
Sorry, but I just can't get over her micro bangs. Like, what a trendsetter.
Of course. I'm girl to be howled at, dragged off the porch into the bushes. Nice, quiet, self-contained girl. You'll see. What you want's gonna happen.
This movie is giving enemies to lovers, and I'm totally eating it up.
Man, you're human, all right.
Got him. Oh, he's pissed. Juice, he's pissed.
Well, you hit pretty well off. You're mighty young there, Miss Clara. All curled up in your bed. Like you just washed your hands and brushed your teeth and said your prayers like a little girl. I bet you were a mighty appealing little girl.
Ew.
Your hung tangled down your back. But you knew where to look for rotten things and blackberries.
Looking at Paul Newman is like getting electrocuted. If it's not his eyes, it's going to be his body. If it's not his body, it's going to be his voice. If it's not his voice, he's going to electrocute you with his eyes again.
Something you have it, boy. Brooklyn, every city. This is the charming company you will meet with him. I hope you're going to give him visa for that price there.
You'll get his just desserts, all right.
Watch this.
There ain't no engagement between you two.
None at all. Go.
That was crazy. This movie was so freaking horny. Juice is still asleep right there, so cute. You have a small town, but a family who owns the whole town. This is the Varners. They own the store, the gas station, the grocery, the post office. They own everything, okay? They're the self-proclaimed sheriff, mayor, all of it. Paul Newman plays Ben Quick. He is a man who comes from a line of barn burners. He's a criminal in his own way. He is fleeing the state of Massachusetts, and he comes upon the Varner town in Mississippi. He's looking for work. He quickly gets in the good graces of Mr. Varner, played by Orson Welles, who did amazing. Not to be basic, but I love Orson Welles. I have such a huge respect for creators who are their own writers, directors, and actors. I think that he bodies every role he's ever done. His movies are fun and thrilling. He's the patriarch of the family, and Ben Quick is like, hey, look, I'm a hard worker. I'm looking for some work. What do you have for me? He decides to put him up in the store. So he's a clerk. He's working in the store. He's kind of taking over the job of Mr. Varner's son, Jody Varner. Jody Varner, he's lazy. He just wants to lay around all day. It's hot, guys. Okay, it's summer. Like, we just want to play and have fun in the summer. He's recently married as well, so he's very busy with his wife. They are not the only horny couple in this movie, but I would say they are definitely the horniest couple in this movie. Ben Quick takes over Jody's job. Jody gets jealous. Enter Clara Varner. Clara Varner is 23. She's an old maid. She's decrepit. No one wants her because she's so old, guys. Like 23, like, oh my God, like she's passing away tomorrow. That's how old she is. And she isn't married yet. Crazy. Mr. Varner's like, when are you getting married? When I married your mother and had you, we were 18 years old. Like, what are you doing? You're such an old maid. She has a couple of suitors, but they really, let me just say, they really respect her. Okay, they are not going above and beyond to woo her because they know she's like a quiet, calm girl, and she's not a girl who loves frivolous things. But at the end of the day, like, she is a girl who wants to be romanced. Like, what girl doesn't want to be romanced? No matter how cool she is, she still loves those things. And so she's honestly just so bored by all of the men in town. Like, they just treat her like, they don't even like kiss her goodnight, you know what I mean? And like I said, this is a horny movie. It's a long, hot summer, and my girl is not even getting a kiss goodnight. Ben Quick, he's a little quick with it, okay? He not only knows how to romance a woman, but he likes to do it, okay? He doesn't care about his own pride and ego. He's like quick to be the man to step up, put himself forward and in front of a girl and be like, do you like what you see? Do you like my piercing blue eyes? Hey girl, I'm Paul Newman. That's all he has to say, honestly. Overall, truly, the movie was a little bit boring. I'm gonna give it like a 3-star, I'm thinking. It's not the most gripping story. One thing I really love about the Southern Gothic subgenre is that there's always this thriller element to it. And don't get me wrong, the end of the movie was a little thrillery. We had our characters in an instance of peril. A good Southern Gothic story to me always has this underlying kind of like evil setting in underneath our characters or in the backdrop of the story, because the South is very scary. It has a culture of hatred. A lot of evil things have happened in the South since Europe's colonization of America. The South is kind of like the oldest part of America in that way. There's a lot of history, there's a lot of skeletons in the closet when it comes to the South, and I think that for me personally, to do a good Southern Gothic story, there has to be the underlying level of evil or terror in the background of the story or the characters. The way that the Night of the Hunter was. The Night of the Hunter, we have this serial killer who's killed like 25 women who is conning his way into another woman's life. Like, that's scary, that's terrifying. I think of Sharp Objects all the time, the book and the TV show with Amy Adams. That is the Southern Gothic story that is horrifying. There's a sadness that lurks, there's an intensity for things that have happened in the past. So The Long Hot Summer did not really fit the bill for me, but it was a movie that's been on my watch list. It is a Southern Gothic movie at the end of the day. Paul Newman is always nice to look at. Okay, the next movie that we're going to watch this Criterion collection is going to be Wise Blood from John Huston. This is from 1979. A Southerner, young, poor, ambitious, but uneducated, determines to become something in the world. He decides that the best way to do that is to become a preacher and start up his own church. Church and religion is also just such a huge part of Southern culture, so I'm really excited to get into this. I don't know anything else about it. Like, that is such a short synopsis, so I'm excited to go into this extremely blind. And yeah, without further ado, let's watch Wise Blood.
I'm gonna start a new church, the Church of Truth, without Jesus Christ crucified, and it won't cost you nothing to join my church. See, I don't need Jesus. What do I need Jesus for? I got the ROI.
I was really interested in figuring out where this movie was filmed because the southern accents are of such a specific dialect, and it looks like there's no specified state that the movie is set in. However, the filming was done in Macon, Georgia. The South is so interesting because it's sincerely so broken up. There's so many different sides and ways of the South. Like, you could live in Texas, that's a completely different South than Georgia, which is a completely different South than Louisiana, which is completely different from Tennessee. Like, it is just so interesting, the South as a whole.
Come on if you don't want to get left.
Okay, I just finished watching Wise Blood. Again, this is from 1979, directed by John Huston. No one in the cast I recognized, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be really honest. I didn't really like it, okay? Our main character, he is living in a state of existentialism. He has a religious background, but he dislikes religion a lot. And what he really dislikes about religion is the fakeness that's around it, okay? He hates that these preachers prey on people for money. There's like competing preachers all standing outside, all preaching and yelling, hoping to get a couple bucks from the crowd, right? He is like a retired army veteran, and in the very beginning of the movie, we see him come upon this old abandoned home, which in Appalachia, there's so many abandoned homes. Like, driving anywhere there, you will see hundreds of homes that are just dilapidated, coming apart, been there for 100 years, that has never been touched or touched up on. So he comes upon this old abandoned home. He visits this little grave site. I'm assuming it's a parent, maybe his mother. And he calls himself a preacher, but he is a preacher of, how do you call it? The Church of Christ without Christ. It's like a form of atheism. Like, it's not important that Jesus Christ was crucified for your sins. Like, sure, okay, that could have happened, but let's move on from that and let's become better people and respectable, like, members of society without having this like religious trauma and background in our lives. It felt confusing because I don't know what his message was, because at the end we see him in a state of, I'm not worthy enough, I'm impure, I need to do all these things to purify my soul. So it's like, what are you actually standing for? Because I thought he was trying to make a point of, we don't have to break ourselves, we don't have to hate ourselves and live in this fire and brimstone kind of mental state. Instead, we can just be a good person, like literally just make a good decision, even if you've made bad decisions in the past. The crucifixion of Christ and like the atonement of Christ is like not what you should be like basing your life around. I think what he really hates is the hypocrisy around preachers, like preachers themselves and how they prey on people. I'm honestly only going to give it like 2 or 2.5 stars. I've seen a lot of John Huston's movies and he makes a lot of my favorites, honestly. The Maltese Falcon, Annie, The Asphalt Jungle, The African Queen, Key Largo, and even The Misfits, which is a Western movie with Marilyn Monroe that I have yet to see. He makes great movies. I really enjoy his noir-esque type of thrillers, right? But this one is just really focused on Christianity, or the opposite of Christianity, hypocrisy within preachers. There are so many characters too who just like keep showing up for shit, and I didn't like anyone. I think that's truly what it was. Like, I really did not resonate, care about, or like any of the characters, and then the story as a whole is not something I'm necessarily interested in. So just, it was kind of a dud movie for me personally. There's even like a whole B side plot with his car. Like, he's always having trouble with his car. He's always, I don't know, guys. I don't get it. I don't know. So yeah, that was Wise Blood. There's like shrunken heads in the movie. There's a blind preacher that he's constantly beefing with. I don't know. Like, it just didn't sit with me. I kind of couldn't wait for it to be over. So Wise Blood was just a bit of a dud for me personally. I'm gonna stop watching and stop filming for now because the next movie on the list is going to be Wild at Heart, which is a David Lynch movie. It's one of like the only 3 David Lynch movies I have yet to see. It's got Nicolas Cage in it as well, so I know my boyfriend will want to watch that one with me. Hopefully we can watch it tonight and then I'll report on what the hell it's about. I'm just excited. Like, a Nicolas Cage movie directed by David Lynch, like, come on. That's not, and I think it's Laura Dern. Let me check. Yes, Nicolas Cage, Laura Dern, Willem Dafoe's in this. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, he's definitely gonna want to watch this with me. So I'm going to stop filming for now. Hopefully I will watch Wild at Heart tonight, and then I'll finish out the final 2 movies for this video tomorrow. Let me know. I'm genuinely curious. If you've seen Wise Blood, if you liked it, why? Tell me what's the tea. Like, it's got a 3.5 rating. A lot of people that I follow on Letterboxd have given it 4 stars. A lot of people tend to really like this movie, and I just simply, it didn't sit with me. So if you like this movie, please enlighten me. Let me know, what is it about Wise Blood that's so good? Y'all, eat breakfast with me while we talk about Wild at Heart from David Lynch.
What's happening, Steer?
Sailor Ripley, you get me some music on the radio to dance and I made it!
Obvious Sailor, Beirut's two most recent strand economic right.
Falcon 3. Just like the country.
Okay, so I finished watching Wild at Heart last night. I watched it with my mans. And, you know, David Lynch, he does what he does best, which is torture women. But it doesn't bother me the way that I feel like another director might do it. I think it's because I feel this, like, parasocial, like, understanding with David Lynch. Also, he created Twin Peaks. Like, he gets pass, okay? I just feel like there's this understanding, to me personally, that David Lynch genuinely respects women. He decides to put all of these horrible violence against women instances because it's real, because it's true, and because he wants the characters to have this kind of dynamic. Does it get tiring? Yes. Yes. Is it just as jarring and freaky every single time I watch one of his movies and some woman is getting assaulted? Yes, every time. Okay, I can't deny that. Wild at Heart stars Nicolas Cage and Laura Dern. They are lovers. They are like probably the two most in love characters I've ever seen in my life. Get out of the way, Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy. Like, these guys make you look like kindergartners. There is just nothing that he wouldn't do to make sure his girl is safe. And she's kind of vice versa. Like, she's very, very young, and he definitely is much older than her. She might be like 20, I think, maybe 19 even, which is terrifying. And he's definitely an older man, and he will like do anything to make sure that she's safe. And I love that. He breaks parole for her because she wants to get out of there. She's like, get me out of here. And he's like, all right, baby, let's break parole, baby. Her mother is her biggest awe. She does not want her to be with this man, probably for good reason. He does have a criminal record. He's older than her. I'm sure truly the mother, in her own head, she's genuinely seen how this guy might not be best for her, but her daughter like loves him. Like, she loves him and she loves everything about him. Like, sometimes love is enough, okay? The mother, I think she also just has issues. Okay, she's got issues. I think she's jealous of her daughter, and that definitely plays into her not wanting her to be with this man, because she's found a man who will take her away from her mother, and she's found a man who will give her more to life and make her feel more free in life than her mother ever has, and her mother's very much threatened by that. She basically like puts out a hit on the boyfriend, and the movie's kind of told in reverse a little bit. The opening scene, we see him commit a crime to save the girl. Like, this guy's coming up on her, he's hitting on her, he's touching her. Nicolas Cage comes out of nowhere, beats him to a pulp, so then he has to go to jail. He has a service sentence, he's on parole, and that's where we get to when we're breaking parole and everything. And then as the story's going on, as they're breaking parole and going on this like highway to hell-esque road trip, we're seeing flashbacks to how we got to this party where he ends up beating this guy to a pulp, and we see that the mother is like very much involved with that. She's kind of like the reason why everything ends up happening and why he ends up going to jail and all this stuff. Overall, I liked it. I think I give it 4 stars because I love David Lynch's amateur like style. Like, he is such an artist that's true to himself, and this is definitely a movie that I don't feel like the studio was able to put their hands in a lot of the time, which he hates. So you can tell it just like truly comes straight from his heart. There's a lot of like fantastical elements in it. Like, our main character, Laura Dern, she sees a lot of this wicked witch, and she keeps having visions of like this wicked witch who like represents her life and how her life is wicked and everything. There's a lot of Wizard of Oz mentions, as actually a lot of talk about the Yellow Brick Road. The Good Fairy comes down to talk to Nicolas Cage at some point, and then obviously the Wicked Witch of the West is like in her mind all the time. Overall, it was just cool. Like, it was just a cool looking movie. I liked the acting a lot, and I loved that they were just literally so in love with each other. Like, he never strays away from that. She never feels like she's unloved or untaken care of thanks to him. And overall, I just really enjoyed it. The next movie, it's day 2 of this. I have 2 movies left to go, and the next one I'm gonna watch is Eve's Bayou. I have it. Like, I have it from the Criterion collection, my own like Blu-ray or 4K version of it, so I'm gonna put that in the 4K player, and I'm gonna watch that next. I didn't even know this. This is amazing. So both of these are 4K. There's 2 discs in here. There's the original theatrical release, and then I also have the director's cut, and like I said, they're both in 4K, so I'm gonna definitely watch the director's cut because I've never seen that.
Some elusive, others printed indelibly on the brain. I must be so proud. Your son's the best colored African on Louisiana.
Every woman in the car is thinking of the circus coming.
I'm already crying, by the way. Like, watching this movie on a rewatch and you know everything that happens. No bueno.
Go quick. They're really mad.
Who mad, baby? Who there? They always.
Runs up on me to keep me August. So throw back to his. If I didn't know you better, I say you need to fix professional jealousy.
First, I am a psychic counselor. Elzora is a solid show attraction.
Then there's nothing to be afraid of. Come.
I swear, I'll kill him for hurting you.
You said you were sick.
I just finished rewatching Eve's Bayou. I love this movie. It's directed by Casey Williams, or Cassie Williams, maybe is how you pronounce it. It's a story of the Batiste family. They're kind of like a higher upper class African-American family in Louisiana. It's set in like the early 1960s. We have our main character, Eve. She is a little girl. She has an older sister, Cicely, and her father is like the best doctor in town. He brings in a lot of money for the family, and we learn throughout the movie that he has an issue with cheating. He cheats on his wife constantly. He's always like working late, working days that he doesn't normally work. And the wife she's definitely fights him on this, but she's just more concerned with keeping the family together. She's got like 3 kids. She also has a brother who has mental disabilities. She's got a lot going on in the home. And her sister, Eve's aunt, she's kind of clairvoyant. She's like a hoodoo spiritual practitioner. She can like see things. She can see premonitions in people's futures a little bit. She's also been deemed as the Black Widow of this society, of this city village, because she's had 3 husbands all die. And so she feels like she's cursed. She's definitely like the beginning part of the story. And then we get more into Samuel L. Jackson, who plays Eve's father, and the mother, Roz. That's more like the second half of the story. Eve starts having some premonitions as well. She starts having dreams, and in these dreams, things come to fruition. Like she kind of predicts her aunt's 3rd husband's death before she even understands what she's dreaming. Cicely, who is Eve's older sister, confides in something horrible that the father has done, and Eve decides to make it her mission to start hating her father. And like these are girls who like love their father, like look up to their father, always want to dance with their father. He's like the life of the party. They love their dad, okay? And when we find out how horrible he's been to the older sister, Eve is like, okay, well, I have some kind of spiritualness inside of me. So does my aunt, and there's also another hoodoo woman in town. Let me go see what I can do about punishing my father. No spoilers, I won't get into the end of the movie, but the movie is beautiful, like beautifully set, beautifully lit. The cinematography is great. The costumes are wonderful. You feel like so enamored and ingrained in this society. You feel like you're there right next to the characters the whole movie. It's beautifully directed. I mean, I love the acting so much. It's like funny from time to time, you know, like sisters fighting, and then it gets like so serious. I think it's a great sister story. I love sister stories. It's just a beautiful movie. It looks so good. Like I can't praise the cinematography and the lighting enough. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous movie. I'm so glad that the Criterion collection added it to their collection, because it's a movie that everyone should be looking at. It's such a great movie. It's a sad story, but the sound is beautiful. The soundtrack is even gorgeous. Like it's just a movie that you can't take your eyes away from. Even though the subject matter of the movie is pretty harsh, really serious, you still love to watch it. I've been wanting to rewatch it pretty much since the first time I watched it several years ago, and I've been excited to rewatch it this whole video. So yeah, Eve's Bayou, 5 stars, 5 out of 5 stars. Wonderful rewatch, wonderful cast, just all of it. All around great movie. So the next, final, and last movie for this Watch a Criterion collection with me is going to be Wildcat, directed by Ethan Hawke, starring his daughter Maya Hawke. It's from 2023, and I don't know where in the South it's set in. There were so many movies. Sorry, I'm going through the Criterion channel right now, so I'm not really looking at the camera. There were so many movies in this Southern Gothic collection that I have already seen, and I chose to rewatch the 2 that I own. So for instance, like Cape Fear, there's 2 Cape Fears on here. I've seen both of them, and great movies, like very good. I really like the old one. It's got Robert Meacham in them. And then the remake is directed by Martin Scorsese, starring Robert De Niro. Both of them are great. The Beguiled, I love that movie. The Beguiled is so good. There's the original Beguiled with Clint Eastwood, and then the remake from Sofia Coppola, which is a great movie. The Paperboy, I've actually rewatched The Paperboy in one of these Watch a Criterion collections with me. I can't remember which one it was. Maybe like Coastal Thrillers or something like that. I don't know. It's on here on YouTube somewhere. Rain on the Wind is a great movie. I have watched so many of these that run the collection. I almost didn't do this video because of how many movies I've seen, but it's been great. It's been great to watch the ones I haven't seen, like Wise Blood, Wild at Heart, and then to rewatch the classics that I own, Eve's Bayou and The Night of the Hunter. So without further ado, let's get into the final movie. This is Wildcat from Ethan Hawke. Okay, T, Wildcat is about Flannery O'Connor, who was a writer. She wrote the novel that Wise Blood is an adaptation of. So this whole video, this whole Southern Gothic Watch a Criterion collection with me, it's all full circle. We've all come full circle because at the end here, we are watching a movie about the woman who wrote the book about one of the movies that we watched. How cool is that?
I'm writing a novel called Wise Blood. It's about an atheist who sleeps with a prostitute and then starts his own religion called the Church of Christ without Christ.
You can write about nice people this time. Maybe you'll be another Margaret Mitchell.
We need another good book like Gone with the Wind. But put the war in it. That always makes it all work.
There are only two spaces.
Y'all, I don't want to watch this movie anymore.
My name is Obadiah. Then he Hawk. He's servant of God.
I finished Wildcat last night and I'm here to close out this video. I truly did not enjoy Wildcat. It was a lot of surrealism. Like, we would go in between moments where our main character, Flannery O'Connor, is going through a medical crisis, and then we would switch to like a fictionalized fantasy story in her head. It does say at the beginning of the movie that it is based on a lot of her short stories. So sometimes I was a little confused, like, wait, is this actually happening to her, or is this one of her short stories? Because she would always play like the main character in these short stories, or she would like place her mom within a character of the short story. So it was kind of like, is this actually happening? Is it not? And then sometimes it was very clear. Jesus came to her mother and told her, you can either be white trash or a black person. And the mother is like, oh my God, like, how do I even choose? Flannery O'Connor loves to point out hypocrisy within Christians, especially in the South. I enjoy her takes on that for sure. She gets a diagnosis of lupus, and this diagnosis forces her to move back home in with her mom in the southern hometown that she grew up in, which is kind of worst case scenario for anyone who has tried really hard to get out of their small hometown home and then be forced to come back to it. Not perfect for your mental health, I'll say that, but she is forced to go back to her southern roots and move back in with her mother because of this medical diagnosis. And this room that she ends up shutting herself in is where she writes for the next 14 years. It's kind of biographical. I think that the acting was fine. I had no issue with the acting or the direction, really, as the Hawks go. I just didn't enjoy it. Like, that was just kind of where it ends up being. I'm not sure if I'm gonna give it 2 stars, maybe 1.5 if I really want to like pick it apart and be mean. I didn't enjoy watching it. There's a lot of racism in the movie as well, which just goes to show the point that Flannery O'Connor is constantly trying to throw hypocrisy back at her mother or other racist white women that she's being surrounded by now that she's having to move back to her southern hometown. So just like trigger warning for that for sure. You guys should know. So overall, this Criterion collection was great. Do I think there were better movies in this collection that I personally didn't watch? I think so, because Cape Fear is good. The Beguiled is great. Rewatching Night of the Hunter, rewatching Eve's Bayou, perfect. Even Written on the Wind is in this Criterion collection. I didn't watch any of those movies because I have seen them before. I've mentioned this already, but the only reason why I decided to do a rewatch of The Night of the Hunter and Eve's Bayou is because I own them. I've been wanting to rewatch them, especially since owning them. Definitely check out this collection. If I could give any recommendation, I'd say Eve's Bayou is up there. It's my favorite one of the whole collection. The Cape Fear movies, listen, one of them is a Martin Scorsese movie starring Robert De Niro. So if you're a fan, you're a fan. If you know, you know. The Beguiled is great, but I think that Sofia Coppola's remake is better. And then let's see, Wise Blood, I definitely enjoyed a lot more having some background on Flannery O'Connor. Like, now that I'm thinking about it in retrospect, it is a better movie than I originally thought it to be. And I'm saying that as well because it is a movie that has sat up here after watching it. When I was watching it, I wasn't enjoying it, but it has stuck in my head. The Long Hot Summer, it was fun. It was kind of like, it was more just a very romantic story. There are no big trials or tribulations. Race is not talked about at all in that movie, even though it definitely should be. The Night of the Hunter is great. Such a classic. If you haven't seen that movie, definitely get on it. The child actors are amazing in that movie. Robert Meacham is gorge. Wildcat, I'd say, honestly, the only one that I would feel confident in skipping. I never want to rewatch it again. I'd never suggest it to anyone either, unless they want to know more about Flannery O'Connor. So yeah, this was a great Criterion collection to watch. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching all the way to the end. Let me know, have you seen any of these movies? Do you like any of them? Do you dislike any of them? Are you going to watch any of them now that you've seen me watch them? Please let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, especially if you are a returning viewer or a returning subscriber clicking on another video of mine. Thank you so much for that support. It means the world. If you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any other book or movie content that I make in the future. Give this video a like if you liked it, and follow me on all of my social media down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!